Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. My name is Will. This is Will of the Nerds. And ignore the creaking of my chair. We are back with another deck tech video. And the last one we did, as you can see, is Real Big Fish up to the top. I hate that name. I hate the name of that deck, but I can't help but name it that because it fits. Anyway, we're going to go make a new deck. We're just going to do what I have been doing with the slashes. White, blue, black, artifact. And if you guys have any, like, suggestions on names for any of these decks, if you watch them, let me know. If they don't have, like, a specific name or a certain name, like real Big Fish, let me know, because then I can change the name. Because some of them, like this, is just... It's boring. It identifies the deck, but I'm not the best at creating names at times. But, like we usually do, we are going to start with the mana base. So, let's make sure everything is in order and separated. It looks like it. Okay, so we just have 2 islands. And the rest is all other lands, not specifically dual lands, but there's some special lands in here. So we have a playset of Forsaken Sanctuary. And you can hear my dog rattling in the background. And of course he's playing with his chew toy. Get it. He's like, oh, the puppies are in the cage. I can play for free. I don't have to worry about the puppies bugging me. Okay, so there's Forsaken Sanctuary. Forsaken Sanctuaries. Alright, we have 2 Dark Steel Citadels. Dark Steel... Yeah, Citadel. For a 2 of, and that produces white and black there. I'm not really going to click on the lands too much. These are both what, from M15, it looks like. And they're indestructible. They tap for 1 colorless, I believe. So yeah, there you go. They tap for 1 colorless. And then we have a play set of Meandering River. Meandering. You get to look at... Oh, I actually spelled it fairly decently. Oh, what are these from? Oh, gets Zendikar? Oath of the Gatewatch. Yeah. Oh, it's an uncommon. Okay, I was like, what the hell's the U for? It's because it's an uncommon and I'm an idiot. Okay, so 4 of them, 2 of them, and there. White and blue is what it taps for. Then we have a playset of Dimir Guildgates, which, if you haven't figured it out, that is probably my favorite type of dual land. They're just easy to get. So you can always, like, there's a bunch of them. They're cheap. You can find them real easy. But we're going to move on. We have a play set of Skyline Cascade, and this is the one I'll click on because there is some shenanigans on this land. So it is, I guess, Battle for Zendikar is the only one it's from. We got 4 of them. I should probably throw a couple more lands in this, but maybe not. We'll see, because there are some cards that work on this. So it enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. And you can tap it for blue. So it's a nice little control-ish kind of land when it enters. So it enters tapped, but when it enters, you're tapping an opponent creature too. So it's a fair trade-off, in my opinion, and it's blue. There's going to be, I believe there's more blue in this than anything, but a lot of them are colorless artifacts. And then we have 2 Arcane Sanctums, and I believe they're both from the same set. Yep. Okay. And they're from a Commander set, yeah, 2017. And it taps for white, blue, or black. And that is all the mana base. There's only 22 in this. That's actually not bad. I usually, if you've watched any of these videos, I do play a lot of, not a lot, I play mostly 24 lands in a lot of the decks I have. I think there's only a few that has less lands than this, maybe my Goblin deck and the Rat deck that I can think of off of hand. But a lot of them have a lot more than that. But we will get right into the creatures. This isn't a very big or fancy deck, in my opinion. It's kind of like a middle-of-the-road kind of deck. Well, nothing starts with that. So we have Mer Retriever for 2, and they're both from different sets. It's an uncommon card, which I probably shouldn't really have to worry. They're probably both about the same price, but we're gonna... Oops, not that one. We'll separate them to where they're from. They're from different commander sets. This is double masters. I don't know if that makes it modern legal or not. But when it dies, return another artifact from your graveyard to your hand. So it helps you retrieve some of the stuff. I think everything in here is an artifact. So there you go. If it's something quick to get out, and if it dies, you're going to be able to get something back. Here we have Joyra's Familiar. There you go. You can see how my spelling is. It's absolutely lovely. There's no I in it. It's just H. It's just H. Ugh. Joyra's Familiar for 2 of. And this is from Dominaria. Dominaria. 2 of. I think when it dies, you draw. Oh, no. Historic. I'm thinking of a different one. Historic spells cost 1 less to cast. It's in here because artifacts count as historic spells. So there you go. That helps with having a little less mana in it because your artifacts cost 1 less to cast. And I believe there's another one in here that helps with mana cost too. Or whatever it is now. I can't remember what Wizards of the Coast changed it to. They changed it from convert a mana cost to something else, and I can't remember what it is. Okay, so Voltaic Servant, and I do apologize for the loud popping in these videos. It's just me sitting my cards down, and I didn't realize how loud it pops in a microphone till I was editing one of these a little while ago, and until I can get an arm for my microphone, it's just going to pop, and there's nothing I can really do about it. I do apologize for it. Okay, so we have Voltaic Servant for a 2 of at the beginning of your end step, untap target artifact. So it gives you a nice blocker at the end of the turn if you tapped and attacked with everything. It's mainly just to get you maybe some chump blockers, or if you have the big artifacts out, it'll help with that. And this next card helps with the mana cost of, the mana cost of your artifacts. I almost forgot what we were doing for a second. Kaladesh, and we have 2 of these, and it is 1 less for artifacts. Yep, artifact spells cost 1 less to cast. And that is that. And we have our first big creature in here, which is Metalwork Colossus. And I don't really remember off the top of my head what this does. If I can find it. Kaladesh, 2 of Metalwork Colossus. It costs X less to cast, or X is the total converted mana cost of non-creature artifacts you control, which I don't think there's a whole lot of non-artifact creatures in this deck, but it's a big creature that I think we can get the mana cost down a little bit of. Plus, you have those ones that that help with the mana cost anyway. So, you know, if you have at least 3 off, you're going to be paying, what, 7 instead of 11 on it. But you could sacrifice 2 artifacts and return this from your graveyard to your hand. I was looking, just skimming through, I didn't notice any non-artifact creature spells, so it's still probably going to be 11, but it's going to be in more of an end game thing. And I'm just looking through here, and I found there's another Metalwork Colossus, so there's 3 of them, and I think I have another one somewhere. So let's ignore that. Let's go with that. We have 3, and then we have 2 Mishra's self-replicators. And there you can see I don't know how to spell Mishra's. That's why. Where are you at? There you are. We've got 2 of them. A lot of M stuff. That's weird. Okay. Dominaria and Mishra's self-replicator. Whenever you cast a historic spell, you may pay 1. If you do, create a token that's a copy of Mishra's self-replicator. Alright, so anytime you... Okay, so yeah, chances are you'll be able to get this out for a little less than 5, and then just create a bunch of copies of it. And, like, it's just, even if it's gives you a chump blocker or something like that, then, you know, you can do that. You can just chump block with it. Gives you something cheap to bring out. All right, so we have Chief of Foundry. Nah, I can't spell chief right, apparently. Chief of Foundry. Chief of the Foundry, apparently. If you didn't know, I don't know how to read. So, yeah, we don't bring that up a lot, you know, for my sanity. Just don't talk about it. It's, you know, don't know how to read. Never learned how to write. So, you know, it's a terrible thing. Chief of the Foundry. Other artifact creatures you control get a +1/+1. So, there you go. Buffing your creatures. And there is a non-artifact spell I have. Probably just this one. Sorcerer Spyglass. I almost read that wrong. Because every time I'm making a video, my IQ goes down by probably 100 points. So there's that I've learned about myself, I guess. Trying to talk and do things at the same time is no good. I can't. Me no do. Ixalan. It's that one right there. What does this do anyway? Enters the battlefield, look at an opponent's hand, then choose any card name. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. Okay. I do want this card in like my show and tell deck. That way I can get rid of their big cards. Like Atraka, the World Renderer, or whatever that gives fucking dragons double strike. I'm on to you, sir. If you know who I'm talking about, if you're watching this video, I'm on to you. I'm gonna find a way to beat that deck of yours. I'm gonna do it. Anyway, half you people were watching this video like, what the fuck? This guy's fucking crazy. What the hell is he talking about? Yes, to all of that. Yeah. Okay, filigree. Fill up me, Angel. They were pretty expensive. I don't know if they're expensive anymore. Okay, so anyway, there's 3 of these. So 1, 2, 3. They're all from this commander set. What was the other set they were from? Alara Reborn. Wow, really? Okay. Filigree Angel. They are dirt cheap now. I thought these were pretty expensive a while ago. Anyway, when it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life for each artifact you control. And she would count as that, plus damn near everything else you're playing is an artifact. So you're going to gain a decent amount of life. Okay, so our next card is Sphinx Summoner. And if this card doesn't summon Sphinxes, I'm going to be a little upset. That's false advertisement. And they're both from a commander set again. It's in Conflux, so it should be standard. Modern? Modern legal. It's not even close to being in standard right now. Don't listen to me. I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about. Flying when Sphinx Summoners... When Sphinx Summoner enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact, creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand. If you do, shuffle your library. Okay, there you go. It's a way to get your big end game card, which would probably be Metalwork Colossus, into your hand a little earlier, and maybe you can cast them while you still have stuff out to help you cast stuff. But there is a few other cards in here that are pretty worth grabbing. Like Chief of the Foundry, I would probably get that out too. That would just be me. Give your stuff +1/+1, especially if you don't have the mana to get Metalwork Colossus out and somebody's playing like discard or something. So you don't have to get it. Oh, well, that one was easy. Silas Wren, Secret Depths. That's what I'm going to go with. Okay, so you are not that card. Well, that one's neat, though. I like that art. I mean, it's the same art. I like that version of the card, I guess. That's not the one I wanted. That's the one I wanted. Death Touch. Ooh, okay. Okay, that's the black. Whenever Silas Wren, Secret Depth, deals combat damage to a player, choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. Alright, so there's some more graveyard return, like the other card when it comes into play. So you're able to recycle your artifacts. That way they're not gone forever unless somebody exiles them or exiles your graveyard. So you can always get them back. Maybe not always, but you know, there's a good chance you might be able to get at least one or two of them back. I know the last time I played this deck, it's been a while. The last time I played it, I kept getting back the ones that helped me with the mana cost, and I eventually did run out of a little bit of juice towards the end of the game. But we were playing multiplayer, and I think I didn't die first. I think I was like the second one out. But yeah, I was able to keep recycling those cards, pull those cards from my graveyard for stuff that is less mana cost. So I was able to get stuff out and quicker. But as soon as I would get stuff out, and as soon as I ran out of momentum of getting stuff out of my graveyard or drawing cards, it fell apart. Anyway, Master of Ethereum is the next card. They're both from different sets, so let's go down here with all of the freaking M's. This one is from Plane Chase, and the other one is from a Commander set. I have a lot of cards from Commander 2016, don't I? Master of Ethereum's power and toughness are each equal to the number of artifacts you control. Other artifact creatures you control get a +1/+1. So that is nice. If you have a lot of artifacts out, it's going to be pretty big for a 3-drop, which is nice. If not, it's a little, the most it might be is like a 1/1 or a 2/2. But the hope is to get that out about mid-late game while you have a couple things out to buff them and buff itself. Okay, I'm trying to look here. How many we got? 50? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 11 cards left. Okay, so I don't know why I have 3 of this. So I'm going to take that one out because looking now, I don't really need 3 of them. So the next one is, if I had more time to edit this stuff, I should have a counter of how many times I say so or in a video. I was about to say it again. I'm not going to do it. I'm a strong independent white man. Don't need to say it. I ain't going to say it. Ethereum Sculptor. Where are you? Don't know my alphabet. They're from... What is this? Dual decks. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. Artifact spells, one less to cast. Yes. It's the easiest way. One less to cast. That's what it says. What says on the card. Gonna let it there. Okay. Padim. I almost read it as Padme. So Padme, console of innovation. It doesn't look like Padme, though. Either that or she really let herself go. I mean, being dead will do that, I guess. Kaladesh, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, Padme is looking a little worse for wear there, you know? I mean, I guess you gotta change your look when Darth Vader's probably gonna try to hunt you down, you know, and do God knows what. Kill you? Kill himself? Apologize to you? I don't know. There's probably some theory videos out there about it. Anyway, artifacts you control have hexproof. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control the artifact with the highest converted mana cost or tied for the highest converted mana cost, draw a card. I don't think a lot of my friends have artifact decks. And if they do have artifacts in their deck, they're nothing really big. Nothing really overwhelming. Okay. Mechanized production. Oh, look at that. It was right there. This is a mythic. There's a good bit of Kaladesh in here, which makes sense. That was the last major set to have a lot of artifacts in it. So, Aether Revolt, mechanized production, enchant artifact you control. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of enchanted artifact. Then if you control 8 or more artifacts with the same name as one another, you win the game. So, that would be a good one to go with, if I can find it. Mishra's Self-Replicator. And Mishra's not legendary, so you could be able to take, if you want, you could take a couple cards out and put 2 more Mishras in. But whenever you play a Historic spell, you create a token that's a copy of Mishra's Self-Replicator. And if you put Mechanized Production on Mishra's Self-Replicator, then it could probably get out of hand decently quick. And hopefully within a few turns, you should be able to probably win the game. That one's a pretty expensive card. $16 on Card Kingdom. Okay. So, these ones, I have Impale in here, which could be replaced with Murder. Impale is basically just a murder spell. Right? If it'll load. Yeah, destroy target creature. That can be switched out for something to help draw cards. I would probably suggest that, or getting rid of this one. This is Essence Harvest. Jesus, there's a lot of Essence cards. Essence Harvest. 1, 2, and it's an E. And this does what? Target player loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. I mean, it works if you have Metalwork Colossus out and you are buffing your creatures, so I would probably keep Essence Harvest in here and get rid of Impale for card draw. Maybe a Blue Sun Zenith. What the hell's the other one? There's one that's, it's a bit of a higher mana cost, but you draw 3 cards, untap up to 2 lands, and discard a card, I think is what it is, but I can't remember what it's called. I have them in a couple of my decks, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But we're going to save that. Okay. 2 artifacts. Okay, yeah, two artifacts. 2 enchantments, 4 sorceries, and 30 creatures. Look at the details here. Mana source distribution, 28, 28, 44. Okay, so, yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know how this counts that, but it seems pretty okay. Maybe a couple more, like, Dimir-esque colors. Then, maybe, like, take 1 or 2 white sources out, but we do have a lot of cheaper cards in here. And let's look here. $350 for the 2 Arcane Sanctums. So that's pretty expensive. Mechanized production is $24.56, and I think that's probably, yeah, that's the most expensive card. The next one is $10 for Silas Wren. But it's a $55 deck, which isn't terrible. I've actually come to find doing all of this that a lot of my decks are pretty budget friendly. I would say most of my decks are under $100. I have a few of them that, like, it's weird. I have a bunch of them that are under $100, and maybe like 2 of them that are around $100, and then like those other 4 or 5 decks I have are $200 plus. It's weird. I don't know how, like, it's whatever. But here is the visual spoilers. I'm going to talk like that for the rest of the video. Now, the visual spoilers, again, for all of the cards. This one, as you can see, is a little less brighter than this one. So, yes. Okay, the starting hand. We're going to look and see what we got. So, we got a Metalwork Colossus to start with. Is this the D&D one? Adventures in a Forgotten Realm? Huh. I need to buy some of this yet. As I'm recording this, I haven't bought any D&D Forgotten Realms. It's on the list. I haven't sold my magic cards yet to use it to fuel to buy more product. I need to re-upload it. Maybe just sell the rares and sell off the bulk commons and uncommons for like $50. But we'll do our thing here. We can't play anything, so Forsaken Sanctuary. Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm good. I think I'm done having a stroke. Play the other one. Add a card. Not gonna worry about it. Dimir Guildgate. Okay. Okay. I would honestly play that and play that. And then draw. Do that. So you can play this for 2. So this is 1 less. Add another card. Play that. Tap your creature. Maybe you attack. And so this is 1 less. So that's still 4, 5, 6. That's 7 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, you're pretty freaking close to be able to get it out. Okay, so you can get this, but I'm going to hold that card. There's really nothing else you can do. I mean, you could do this, but if you're not really, like, it's turn 6. I don't know. I would maybe hold it for now. There's your island. And hopefully you'd be able to play Filigree Angel now if this thing's still alive. Which I would have blocked with this to keep that alive. So, yeah, I would probably play Filigree Angel, get yourself a decent creature out, gain some life back. And, yeah, definitely Padme over there. Gives your artifacts hexproof, so now nobody can target them with anything. And we'll be able to probably draw a card. So 4. Now, okay, yeah, so this is the highest converted mana cost artifact. Chances are nobody's going to have anything like that. So, our beginning draw step, we draw another card. And let's see, how much mana do we have here? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is going to be, if you still have Joyous Familiar out, I'm going to assume we don't. So 3 mana to play this. And then play this. Gain some life. They lose some life. End turn. Comes back. Draw a card. Draw a card for this. Okay. We can play, I would play both of those. And I would attack with this. I would attack with what you can. So probably this Filigree Angel and Chief of Foundry. This is probably going to get blocked because they're not going to want you to get anything back. But Filigree Angel, I'm going to guess, will probably get through if they don't have a flyer. If they have a flyer, they'll probably block it and probably eat 2. And we can draw a card. Alright, so this is where I play Sphinx Summoner. Look for Mishra's Self-Replicator. Reveal it. We have to draw another card because of that. So we can play our land per turn. And this is where you find Mishra's Self-Replicator. And I don't know how much it is, but we're going to draw our 2 cards for the thing. And let's look. How much is Mishra's Self-Replicator off the top of my head? Because I don't know. So it's 5. How much mana do we have? So we need 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana to do it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8. So I'd play Mishra's for 5. You know what? Would you? No, because you would still screw yourself. It would make it easier to do this next turn, though. I would probably play this. Screw it. 3. Pass the turn. Attack with what you can. And then draw your cards. There's your other land to do it. But with artifacts being 1 less to cast now, you could play Metalwork Colossus. Get a big thing out. But I would probably get your Mishra's Self-Replicator thing out. You can play it for 4 instead of 5 because of Foundry Inspector. Play this card. And now you have Mishra's Self-Replicator out, which I don't remember what it does. It's taken a while, so you're better off to put a playset of Mishra's Self-Replicator in here. And basically everything else you're going to play from here on out, pay the 1 mana if you have it. Alright, so like you're going to have to do it. Maybe plop that on it. So you're going to get another one. So there's 2. That's an enchantment. If you have the extra mana, play that. Pay the 1. Get another copy of it. So now you have 3 copies of it. By turn 20, yeah, it's chances are you're probably, be honest, you're probably going to be dead by now, unless you're playing multiplayer. You kind of have to hope to get Mishra in like within 8 turns, because if you can get it out and you can get something to draw mechanized production, that's why I would probably take Impale out and put some card draw in. Or something that lets you search your library. So if there's a blue card that lets you just search for a card, or an artifact that lets you search for a card, they'd probably be better off in it. Get those cards as soon as possible, because if you can get that engine going, that would be the best thing. So that's probably what the deck would end up being doing if I were to go back and look through it, is make it around Mishra's Self-Replicator and mechanized production. But we will let the video go there, so if you guys could please like, subscribe, share, hit the bell icon, that way you get notified every time I upload a new video. You can follow me over on Facebook and Twitter, the links to those are in the description. And with that, I'll see you guys on the next one.